It is time. Now, you and I disagree. I love Draft Day. You think it's dumb, right? Is that a fair depiction?
The movie? No, I told you I like it. It's completely fabricated. But I thought it was a really I love ball. So, yeah, I thought the movie, it brought ball into play. It had some personalities that we know that are on there. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was entertaining.
Jesse?
But it's a dumb movie. Moneyball, by the way, much better movie.
I would agree. I would say this is more of a guilty pleasure than Moneyball, which I just really enjoy. Jesse, where do you fall on Draft Day, the movie?
Better than I thought it would be for a movie about picking a player to join a team and never really seeing any football being played.
What do you mean? Vontae Mack eats Bo Callahan's lunch at the Horseshoe.
Sure. I mean, like we're watching people watch film of a football game.
You're not wrong.
If you think about the premise, like it's really kind of ridiculous that it would be. So the fact that it's entertaining at all, I think, is a win for Draft Day. So I think it's a fine movie. It's not what I'm going to seek out as like a legendary sports movie. But
are you watching it if you're flipping through channels and it's on? Yes or no? For me, it's yes.
Yeah,
I am.
I'll put it on for a couple minutes, yeah. I'm not going to
That's a no for me, dog.
It's not like grab the popcorn, holy smokes, Draft Day is on, we got to sit down and watch this entire thing.
No.
But will I watch the remainder of the scene we're in? Yeah, sure, probably.
It is not appointment television.
Shooter with Mark Wahlberg is the greatest flip-through, I can't stop watching movie. Like, Shooter is for sure that movie. Can't stop watching.
This is starting to feel like the Ed Helms Super Bowl preview.
No, we're not doing that today, but Jesse, write that down. That's a good little topic for middle of June, early July. Shooter.
Hoosiers would be mine for that purpose. All right, so in the film, if you're uninitiated, first of all, you need to change that. Just set aside an hour and 45 minutes at some point in your life and watch the movie. It will not be the best movie you've ever seen. It'll probably be like Oppenheimer was for Tausch. Didn't live up to his expectations, would never watch it again, but was worth watching once.
Yep.
But in that film, Kevin Costner is the general manager of the Browns, and he has the courage of his convictions that Vontae Mack is the pick, whether it's at number 7 or at number 1. It takes a while for that to occur in the film, but eventually he gets Vontae Mack. Played, by the way, in terms of great actors who we lost too soon, Chadwick Boseman is among them. Tragic, because he was fantastic. Now, put yourself in Kevin Costner's shoes, or Goody's shoes, as it were. Goody's getting up this morning. He's heading to Lambeau Field. He grabs his Post-it note, and he writes, "Whose name, no matter what?" Does he write Cooper DeJean? Does he write Amarius Mims? Does he write Graham Barton?
Does it have to be first round? Like, do we have to have it for tonight? Is that the name? Is that what we're doing? Just so I'm sure, just so I'm on board with
Vontae Mack was not a third-round pick.
Okay, that's fair. So I've kind of went back and forth on this.
Okay.
You know, I think Cooper DeJean, it's become basically, if you're mocking, you're Coopin'. Coop is everybody's. He's Schrager's. He's Chef. I mean, he's everybody's mock now. I think he's dipped, and I think with the quarterback class, you know, sucking down some of the other talent with if they're taking 5, maybe even 6 QBs before Green Bay picks. But I think I'm going to go back. I think offensive tackle. I think Bart. The dude from Duke. There's a lot of guys that I think are going to be solid picks if that's where Green Bay goes. But I have to go back to where I started. I have to go back to when I watched a couple of Big Ten games and I saw a disruptive force. I saw somebody that forced the national champions to completely disregard throwing the football. They didn't throw the football for 2.5 quarters because of this guy. He was Vontae Mack against the Wisconsin Badgers in draft day. So I can't in good faith, even though I don't necessarily believe this is where Goody's going to go, for me, my Post-it note of blank no matter what is chop, chop, chop like you're doing an onion. Chop no matter what for the Green Bay Packers tonight. That's what I'm looking for. My boy Chop Robinson, Penn State.
I love it. You and Kevin, man. You guys both have the courage of your convictions. He's your guy. He's been your guy for months. Chop.
Yeah, I've loved him. Jason, he tested well. I think the big question mark is he undersized? Is he going to be able to hold up? And now, especially you're in a 4-3, it's a little bit different, but I don't buy into any of that. Give me Grease Lightning with some power off the edge all day, every day. I know what that does to offensive tackles. I've seen what he's done to players that are at a high level on the offensive line. He has disrupted games, and I know his stat line is probably not dynamite, but, man, he is a disruptor. And can that be something that the Green Bay Packers could use? Yeah. Pour me in, Coach. I could use a little pork chop on my side.
Not pork chop. That was pork chop Womack. I do. First of all, I love the callback to the Tito's campaign. Pour me in, Coach. Well done. Secondly, I feel like, and tell me if you feel the same way, it's so Cooper DeJean heavy that I almost feel like it can't be Cooper DeJean.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the same way, which is shocking, but it's very upsetting.
So I'm not my Vontae Mack is not Cooper DeJean either. Now let me be clear: if they take him, I think it's a really good fit. They want a versatile guy in their secondary. They need help both at corner, at safety. He can play both. He's an Iowa guy. It all makes sense, which is why I just feel like it's not going to happen. So there are two guys that came for visits that are offensive linemen, and I'm a little bit torn, which I guess makes it a little bit harder to be no matter what. But there's Amarius Mims, the tackle from Georgia that we've talked about a lot on this show, who he only started 8 games for the Bulldogs. His first 2 starts were in the college football playoff of 2022/23. But the other guy that's intriguing, and he's a little bit the same in that he didn't play a ton in college, but he also came for a visit, started off at TCU as a tight end, is Tyler Guyton, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma, who also came for a visit. That, again, I don't know, and we saw this yesterday from both Dane Brugler and from Daniel Jeremiah, that if you want one of the top-end tackles, and both those guys are considered that, you're probably going to have to go up to get him. Now, is Goody willing to do that? I don't know. But the fact that they came in for visits, I don't believe that was subterfuge, right? I think that they know they need a tackle, and they need to take a closer look at 2 guys that didn't play a ton during their college careers. So that's where my brain is at. So my Post-it note player is going to be Amarius Mims. Played at Georgia. They've taken a lot of Georgia guys, obviously. So
and Iowa guys.
Right. So it's either Georgia and Iowa are apparently the 2 places Goody likes to go most. So my Vontae Mack, no matter what, is Amarius Mims, no matter what. All right, Jesse, who's yours?
I'll take the low-hanging fruit if you guys don't want it.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
No, give me Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean, no matter what. If the number 1 ranked corner in most mock drafts is available that can also play safety, that's from a school that cranks out pro players that fit the Packers system great every single year, go for it.
How did the last corner from Iowa work out here?
That one was different.
That's your guy.
This
Pretty
is
good,
the
right?
makeup call for Josh Jackson. This is the makeup call for Josh Jackson because that was supposed to be great, and it ended up not being great. Cooper DeJean, little more great.
Okay.
I feel great about it. Like, just looking at his stock hasn't plummeted since going to all the workouts like Josh Jackson's did, where he was projected top 10 and all of a sudden he just became a second-round pick and you're like, what happened? Like, Cooper DeJean, because of an injury, has floated over a little bit. But that's why I think there's great value there, and Goody loves his value. And being, again, from the Iowa system, it just makes too much sense.
Yeah, I wonder, because so many people are caught up in the in the DeJean whole operation, is this going to be one of those cases, and it won't be to the same degree, but if Gutenator passes on him, and this cat goes on like T.J. Watt did, are we going to be sitting here in the same boat?
Uh-huh.
Are we going to be sitting here, boy, Cooper DeJean would have been a pretty good pick instead of Mims. Mims is sitting here struggling, can't even get out and play. Oh, look at him. He's got 4 picks for the Eagles. He just picked off Jordan Love in Brazil. What the heck is going on?
Right.
I hope that is not the case, because I sense Packer fans, they're not going to be head over heels in love like we were with T.J. Watt, but I think we're fancying him pretty heavy. And if we pass on him, it's going to be similar, not to the same degree, but I can assure you we will be watching with one eye open. How's old DeJean doing? How's DeJean doing? And if he's a stud, oh, God, it's going to be on every blank text and talk line and tweet line and everything else. Oh, boy, look at what DeJean's doing. So, not that you should ever make decisions like that, like Putney and what's-his-face did in draft day, but that is going to happen if that is what Green Bay decides to do.
You pancake-eating so-and-so. You're right. He didn't play at Wisconsin, so it won't be as intense. But if he plays at a level commensurate with what Ace, come on, man. It's not a documentary. Ace texting in from Stoughton.
Wait, is there an ace
the movie Draft
in
Day sucks.
Stoughton, and we have an ace
We
in
have
Mount
2
Horeb,
aces.
or am I
Yep, we got a pair of aces.
How do we have we got pocket aces? All right. I didn't think we had that.
What do we get on the turn? All right, so those are our no matter what picks. Who's yours? The talk and text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I won't stand for draft day slander. We're not allowing that. It is not an Academy Award winning movie, but
It's not Shape of Water.
It's applicable for today. It's definitely not The Shape of Water. 844-770-3776. Who is your no matter what pick for the Packers tonight in round 1 of the 2024 NFL Draft? We'll get to your texts coming up. Want to remind you, Gruber Law Offices, no matter what, when it comes to serious injuries and accidents. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices. Go to gruber-law.com to find out more about the firm, about everything that David does. You have pink ones? Pink Post-it notes?
It's kind of like a salmon, really.
It is a salmon. Yeah, he's going to be wearing that to Guarding Against Cancer event soon. If you put it right there, we can't see you at all.
That's all right.
Well, that might be improvement.
Say,
Gruber Law
nobody's
Offices,
had
one
sweat.
call. That's all. 414-276-6666. I do not want to get complaints next time I interrupt you during a read. We will get to your Post-it note picks next. It's Wilde and Tausch.